with you at Houston Temple this year, and I'm very pleased to meet many of also wonderful devotees. And we are all United ISKCON, inching towards our Krishna consciousness. That's the only way we do bhakti is chanting, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, etc. I'm very thankful that we are able to associate with all the wonderful, exalted Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. It's my pleasure. So let's do, it's 1 hour, right, Prabhuji? By 9:30 we end, 45 minutes class. And
yes, 9:30 we can take some questions, if devotees has.
Sure, I'll try my best to early, and I don't want to delay the things. So let's do a little bhajan. I'm not sure how it will work with the Zoom. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Gopijanna Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jasodanandana Bhaja Jana Ranjana.
Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana.
Jamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopijanna Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana.
Jamuna Tira Vanachari.
Tira Vanachari.
Let's do a quick Mangalacharan also together. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunnilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shyuta Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha
Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo
Cha
Patitanam
Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So, you can see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. As I'm here right now, we have opened another also temple in California, Northern California, near Silicon Valley, called ISKCON Central Valley. I just opened it 18 months ago, and we just got a new lease. So happened to receive some FedEx, so I just came in, and I'm doing the program from the new center. And it's not a temple; we have a Gornitai, but it's very cold because there is no automated electric heating. So I'm wearing my shawl here because of the cold inside this big warehouse. So this is I presented a few years ago at ISP Temple. So I'm going to go through half an hour with this content. Then I'll stop and then we'll have some reflection in between. And if you have any questions in your mind, don't skip it, put it in your chat or any reflection so that you don't forget. But at the end of the 30 minutes, we will discuss those items. So please don't be shy. As much as we engage and interact, that would be much more beneficial to everyone. So as you know, when somebody can see a coin, they can say it's a head or a tail, or depends on what the size. One side they can see, the other side nobody sees. But one can be found throughout his lifetime that I see only a coin of that side. So there is a perspectives. We are trying to say a double perspectives that are multi-perspective on any situations. So we are going to just reflect few of them here. Just like here you see 1 cent, in God we trust, and United States of America, which is giving a White House. So the two sides of coin. It means that the same person or subject or idea can be viewed two different ways. Example, low minimum wage makes it easier for businesses to add jobs, while making it tougher for the employees to make a living. Isn't it? The corporate world, those who are businessmen, they want a lower wage so that they can hire more people or they can make more profit. On the other hand, the lower wage for the employees, it says how they make their living. Isn't it? So in every situation, there are two different audience. And then you can see, it is mentioned, do not judge people only based on one thing. Every coin has two sides. Just like I was giving an example, in corporate world, especially in Silicon Valley, when we have a meeting at 3 p.m. and one person was dozing, not only dozing, kind of snoring in the meeting, 3:30, so 1 hour meeting, 3:30 p.m. Then the manager of that person said, hey, don't bother him. It's a very nice reflection. Otherwise, what we do, people will criticize, hey, look, he's sleeping, snoring in the meeting. Because the manager knows it, other people don't know that he had worked the whole troubleshooting 3 a.m. last night. No matter what, other people may not know and comment or give their judgment on that situation because we do not know the background. My point is not that you also tomorrow go to the corporate world and snore and get rewarded. Not like that. But every situation, in every perspective, we have varieties of informations. So sometimes Srila Prabhupada says, when there was a sabji they are making in Mayapur, a big bowl, big bucket, big pot, and I think a small girl fell onto that big sabji and hot. So everybody is saying what is going to happen, because those who are going to distribute the sabji, they are finding out their ways. Oh my God, shall we throw it? Shall we do something? Then Prabhupada was saying, first take care of the person who got hurt. So everyone has different situation, so they see differently based on what as you know, Madan Gopal Prabhu used to say, needs, interest, and concern, the NIC model. So we have also, there are two different perspectives. The same one, you can see in the beach, a sunlight or a sunrise. If you go to the east coast, Eastern India, especially Jagannath Puri, you can see the sunrise. You are here in San Diego or Los Angeles, then you see the sunset. So the perspective is, it is also people like differently. The same beach, someone likes the moonrise, someone likes the sunrise, someone likes the sunset, and different things. Now the question is, why we don't judge or judge? This is, I'm setting a context. In these sections you see, as Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, can someone read who is good in Sanskrit sloka? Just recite the verse. I know it is not that great font. Yeah.
Matra sparsastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhadah agama painu nityas tam stitikshasva bharata. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance is due course, are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They rise from the sense perception, ocean of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed.
Thank you. So life is like a coin. Pleasure and pain are the two sides. Only one side is visible at a time. But remember, other side is waiting for its turn. So that means happiness, then we get what you get distress, we got pleasure, we got pain, we got money, profit, we got loss. So all the situations you see, which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita or in Vedic literature, we are going to experience those things momentarily in a greater intensity or a smaller intensity or to a fraction of it or in a dream. No doubt it is going to come to us. Now, the problem is Kapila Muni, just like when he explains to his mother Devahuti, he mentions that how he can be equipoised and tolerant in all the situations, and it comes with practice. Just like in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna mentions Abhyasa Yoga Yaktena Chetasananna Gamina Paramam Purusham Divyameti Parthana Chintayan. So, only by practice, one can come to the stage of tolerance. You can't expect a person who is coming to the temple, just like we react. I'm giving an example in a preaching. When a newcomer comes, first time, oh, he eats some prasadam he gave, he eats in the left hand. There are people we are Brahminical, we are Vedic order and all. 3 people will jump in, hey, Prabhu, do not eat in left hand. Prabhu, I understand, but we do not know the context. He's coming from background. We may be in that situation 10 years ago, or when before joining Krishna consciousness, we might be in our constitutional position. So the point is, in such situation, you need to see the perspective. He's a newcomer. Let it be comfortable and let him not to be preached in these situations, because he may be a good devotee in some point of time. Because if he gets hurt in the first impression, things he may not show up in the next time to the temple. So, in another way, Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter. Can someone read the translation, please? Any volunteer?
Hare Krishna, I can read it. Bhagavad Gita 13.22. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the 3 modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil among various species. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So what he says, thus he meets with good and evil among various species. So it is essential. Sometimes we say, oh, I got Prabhupada in one lecture in Canada. I don't know, is it Montreal or Toronto? He mentioned that based on your past karma, someone was saying that, oh, I got a son or a children is completely against me. Then Prabhupada mentions, yes, based on your past karma, you get a son. Either he's going to take the revenge from your previous lives or the previous lives, the remaining residual karma, in order to get a friction, torment, turmoil all around with the relationship. So then he asked, what should we do? Prabhupada said the best thing is Muka Badhira, deaf and dumb. The more you react, the more you'll be in problem. The more you generate more words, then the more you're in problem. So in that situation, you understand the order of super soul and the divine things, better to remain calm and cool. So in these ways, you will be, now if you wanted to prematurely demand God to neutralize all your pain and pleasure instantly, you will not be knowing things. It is said that when God wants to crown someone, he doesn't give a crowning diamond. He tries to break you, because you will develop resilience and sustenance by such methods. If he give a crown, you may be puffed up in the next day. So God wants to love you, means he wants to build up you in putting in such situations so that you develop those sides. Now, if you see in another context of the Damodar Leela, just like you see here, in one Acharyas say that Yashoda Maya says she bound Krishna in the Arjuna trees. which was caused by Narad Muni, these two sons of Kubera, Nalakubera and Manigriva. So now if you see that they are waiting for their cause to be eliminated, and Damodar Bhagavan is going to place the word of Narad Muni, and Yasodama is also happy because she is also punishing. So in one incident, you can see there are various things are happening. But from your perspective, you may not see all around. Sometimes something is manifested within our heart, and Acharya can know in all situations, in all perspective, but not and ordinarily we may not be knowing. So from our side, the more we try to learn and explore with the association of the devotees, our realizations will be much more matured. But if we try to misleading information or misjudgment on those situations, you will conclude wrong. Either you will criticize that person, you will criticize the situation, you will condemn yourself, or you will condemn God that why did I put it. So we have to, that's why the different situations are given. In Bhagavad Gita, all you see the contrasting things are given, chapter 1 to chapter 18. So another one in chapter 4, text 7. Can someone read? This is the famous sloka from Mahabharata, also it has been recited several times.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please
Yes.
accept my respectful obeisances. My very respectful pranams to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis present here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself.
Okay. So the reason for bringing is dharma and adharma that remains in science time immemorial. Just like we know that the Veda was stolen from the mind of Lord Brahma when he was not started the first stage of creation. And then Lord Vishnu intervened and he killed the demon and brought it. Then again, sometimes Veda is stolen, then Meena avatar came, Matsya avatar, and keep it. Lord Brahma, when he was preparing for this, God, when he has created the design called DNA or the blueprint or the roadmap, he has given the demigods and the demons. Both are already in the DNA platform. And why? Because God is Trikalagya. He knows why we are here in this world. We are not here to be obedient to God. We are here to be disobedient to God because we want to prove ourselves God. So there will be people who will be performing adharma. So in those situations, there are people who will be performing adharma means, is that the person who is performing adharma, he knows he is performing adharma? No. Nobody thinks that he is doing bad. Even a person who is stealing, he doesn't think that he is doing bad. Because everybody thinks he's doing something good. That's why they think that they are skillfully doing it. And secondly, also, in both these contrasting situations of dharma and adharma, God has to be an essence. I'm giving an example. Mahabharat war. When Mahabharat war is happening, the day when Ghatotkacha was giving very dangerous situations to Kauravas, what happened? Karna has kept one arrow which has to be shot for Arjuna, because that's what he got the blessings from Indra. And he has kept it very suitably that he's going to employ it for Arjuna. But Ghatotkacha has been so much of fatal that Duryodhana sees that this guy is vanquishing my armies in a minute, thousands and thousands of soldiers. He's just walking upon them. Then he pleaded to Karna, forget about Arjuna. Before Arjuna is killed, this Ghatotkacha is going to destroy us. So what do? You do kill him. And Karna killed Ghatotkacha. But now, when Karna killed Ghatotkacha, so Ghatotkacha is standing such a huge, gigantic, he was a son of a demon and Bhima, like Hidamba. So when the arrow was killed, pierced into the body of Ghatotkacha, what Krishna said, do you know? Krishna said one beautiful statement, and that is very profound. Krishna gave instruction to Ghatotkacha. He said, at the time of death also, you do welfare. And how? Krishna said, Ghatotkacha, he was falling behind. When you die, what happens? You fall behind, right? Because the arrow is there, that means you don't fall forward. You fall behind, that's a natural thing. Krishna advised him to fall forward because that is the enemy is there. By falling forward, he can kill another 1 lakh soldiers because he's so gigantic. And in that situation also, just imagine how this is called utility is the principle. Krishna is utilizing Ghatotkacha in that situation to do the welfare at the time. Now, generally people maybe will be compassionate, at the time of death he can do anything. But in a war, either you do good or bad, cunning or loving, doesn't matter. Any trickery, whoever wins the war is the winner. Jo jita, wahi Sikandar. So that's the way when Krishna has given advice. There are many other ones. So it's one profound one, how he has seen. And then people can observe that in one instance, how he can manifest it to kill lots of soldiers from the enemy's perspective. Now, in another one, could someone read the sloka? And I know a little bit, it may not be visible well. I hope someone can read it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Then Balaram Jai Shri Prabhupada. Read, Prabhuji. द्वौभूता सर्वलोकेऽस्मिन् देव आसुर एव च देवो विस्तरशः प्रोक्त आसुरं पार्थ मे शृणु. Translation. O son of Pritha, in this world there are 2 kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and the other demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demoniac.
So, just like we know the divine and demoniac, which exists since time immemorial, it has been mentioned that in Satya Yuga, the demons and demigods, they live in different planets. In Treta Yuga, they live in one planet, but they live in different countries, continents. In Dwapar Yuga, they live in same family, like Yudhishthir and other Duryodhana. Same family, the demon and demigod, means those who are Deva, divine qualities, and demoniac qualities. They live in one family. And in Kali Yuga, divine and demoniac qualities are in same person. Wow. Then how do you kill? Then if you want, then you can kill everybody. Just as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if I employ Sudarshan Chakra, there is nobody a devotee. Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj used to go and say, Vaishnava Ke Vaishnava. Then he said, we will not find a single Vaishnava. Because we all contain both these qualities together. Now the question is, how do we subdue our demoniac qualities? And how do we manifest our divine qualities? That's what we advance in devotional service. The person who remain, they are not attempting to purify their existence, or they are not attempting to uplift their higher qualities and subdue their demoniac qualities. So that's why they remain at this stage and still performing various sinful activities. So for us, in this Kali Yuga, the only thing is those people who are chanting, reading, doing some seva, performing devotional service, are really advancing very fast, swiftly. Those who are again anchoring their whole boat and not opening the anchor from the heart and not doing any services, very hard to perform progress in the devotional life. So, Krishna, as I mentioned, every chapter you see, there is a contrasting. The contrasting qualities divine, there is a contrasting qualities of demigods, there is a contrasting situation like pleasure and pain, heat and cold, etc., etc. So there is always given In both the situations, we behave differently. Some people say, Prabhu, I'm finding a job, I will, then only I will chant. Someone is saying, I'm finding a wife, after I get, then only I will chant. Oh, after I get my stock, vested, then I will give money to their temple. Well, then I called, what happened? So I lost $80,000. Well, he could have given $800 on that day. So the point is, Chanakya Pandit says, Subhasya Sigram. Subhasya Sigram means always meditate or do the things if your mind is saying some good thing. Okay, today I have to go to temple. Don't delay the plan. Don't try to examine further. Your wife is saying, your husband is saying, your child is saying, let's go, Papa, let's go, Mama, temple today. You go in immediately. If some bad things are coming, it delay it. Such as demoniac thoughts coming into mind. Oh, I have to criticize that person. I have to write a Facebook posting that guy is, causing so much problem. I have to write about him. Or I have right to, criticize a person, devotee, to the management because he did not cook well, it was burnt, whatsoever. Delay such kind of things. That's the Chanakya Pandit formula. And Prabhupada always quotes Chanakya Pandit is a wise man. So he's not giving anything just like that deliberately. He has thought through, he has realized through. So we should follow that path in order to develop our divine quality. And overall, Krishna has also mentioned about the material world and the spiritual world. Ekam sthito jagat. So can someone read this sloka, please, and the translation? Excuse me. Please unmute yourself. Any volunteer?
I shall now declare unto you.
Sorry, I didn't. Can you read the Sanskrit also?
Okay, so just a second. Mananam te aham sa vijanam idam vakshyami asesta satha yaja jatva neha bhuyo nayaj janatvayam avasyasiste. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge both of phenomenon and the numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Hare Krishna.
So it is called, Prabhuji, just not a correction, but just to tell you, it's called Jnanam. Okay?
Jnanam.
Jnanam Jnatva. Thank you for. So this is the way we read the Sanskrit.
Oh, Jnanam. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And then now the question is here. There are two kind of phenomenon and luminous world. So there are Mayavadi people, always they will defy the existence of God. I was invited by one of our family friends to a Mayavadi sannyasi. So I happened to go to honor my cousin, and he was giving a talk, and what he was saying is, oh look, how come a person will stand if Narayan comes here with 4 hands? They will run away, all of them. So what is the question of then the God's form? Well, when Narasimha Dev appeared also, everybody ran away, all the demons, not Prahlad Maharaj, not all the devotees who came like Ganesh and Indra and Brahma and all. They're afraid of the angry mood, but they are not ran away. That's why the demons will run away. I was telling you, impersonalist, you are defying the existence of God. The 4 hand, he's not there, 4 hand. Another Mayavadis, he was giving an example of Parvati. He said, look, the Veda, how Mother Parvati, when she was taking bath from his maila, from his dirty, from his body, she created a statue and then she gave life. Then she was criticizing, oh, as if like Mother Parvati has not taken bath for years, so that much of maila came from her body. And then she was talking about, then look, he gave she gave life to that boy, Ganesh, by just phuk diya, means putting some mantra in his ear, in his ear. But look on the contrast. When he was killed, she was crying. If she could wake him up from the matter, from the Mala to life, why not she can connect his head to his body? Why? She was crying. So my point of saying is, I'm not arguing here, how the Mayavad will attack us in different ways. Because when they see, and he was again going on criticizing, look at Krishna. He thinks himself great, how he ran away from the Ranchod, and his bhaktas are so bhaktas that he is worshipping him as a Ranchod Prabhu. There is a Ranchod temple in Gujarat, right? When Kalyavan came. So he was saying, so how they look into these things, because every situation, there are two sides of a coin, as I mentioned. When Kalyavan came, when Krishna is living or not, you need to read the purport and the insight of our Acharya to know the meaning. It is not that God is weak. It is not that God is weak that he ran away in the middle of the night from Mathura to Gokul. He is afraid of Kansa. Kansa can be killed by choking in his air. God doesn't need to appear in this world. He can kill all the demons by the material nature, by storm, by earthquake, by any kind of things. The tree fall from the sky, anything can happen, they can be killed. God doesn't need to intervene personally. And neither God is afraid of Kansa, neither God is afraid of Kalyavan. Thing is that people limit themselves and they accuse God that he is not powerful. But the same person I asked the question, means in my mind, why not you say that he lifted the Govardhan hill? Why not you glorifying him that this situation? If you believe that part of this problem, because that's why they try to confuse the audience and bring. There are two sides of the coin, means when there are contrasting situations where there is no such important evidence, then you end up in such kind of problem. Then happiness and distress. I need one more volunteer. Can someone read?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yo na rishyati na devishti na shochati na kankshati shubha 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 pariteyagi bhakti manya fame priyaha. One who neither rejoiceth nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me.
What God is saying, that you need to learn both the perspective. Sometimes Prabhupada says devotee must learn impersonalism properly. Because if they are going to preach, they may be captured by their ideas or they may be defeated by them. So he wants to prepare themselves. So in devotees, in a distress situations, in Juhu temple when it was built, Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, Prabhupada, how can we stay here? There is no running water to go to the bathroom. Prabhupada said, that is the standard of austerity. You don't want to please Krishna? So in happiness and distress, because ultimately they are pleasing Krishna. They're pleasing Krishna means they're pleasing the Guru Maharaj. They're pleasing Srila Prabhupada. So what is my distress index? If you ask someone, my distress index, Prabhuji, if somebody does not praise me, I am very annoyed. Okay? That means you are always welcoming for praise and appreciation. If somebody criticizes, Prabhuji, somebody criticizes, I'm really going to frown at him, be angry. Okay? And what is your distress index? Prabhuji, if something, my job loss, something happens, I will go cranky. Okay? So we all have a distress index. Someone is in a lower one, someone can lift how much? Maybe 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds. We have a distress index. And also we have a happiness index. Someone can be elated because one of my professor, when he was saying that he has 2 kids and one kid will come, what did he get? He'll be happy. Oh my God, he got B plus. He's happy. Another of his son, he will come A plus. Their happiness index are different. So different substance, different contents bring different happiness index. Different level of distress also bring different distress index. So as we examine ourselves, all the situation, what Krishna is saying, one who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things. We are always trying to get auspicious things, right? Oh, this way we'll get something. This is inauspicious thing. So we have to also overcome those kind of situations, not focus too much of Subha Ashubha. Oh, I have to give a water pot in my home. I have to put in northeast this. I have to put this one in south directions, east direction. So much of Subha Ashubha in the mind. Because there is nothing there in Kali Yuga, anything is perfect. In Chinese one you go, in Vastu Shastra you go, in everywhere there will be faults. So it is better to tie up. That's what you go whenever you tell people, Vastu Shastra, you wanted to Subha Ashubha? No. You just establish Bhagavatam at your home. All the Vastu dosha will be gone, vanquished. Because he's the king of the scriptures. If the king is there, what is the Vastu and all? They are all servant of the king. So that is the one. So I will stop here now. And we will go through some reflections and some questions if you have, so that we can end. What is the time? Okay, 15 minutes we can. So, Prabhuji, I just maybe Ram Tulsi Prabhuji, you can manage, moderate the things how you wanted to.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So let me make some few announcements so devotee can speak. Give me a second. So anybody has any questions, definitely they can keep in that mind. Screen. So as we have our Wednesday Sangha program, our program is here today. So this Sunday, Harila Prabhu is supposed to speak. So there might be change. Maybe Jayadatta Maharaj will come and speak, or some devotees. So every Friday we have weekly Bhakti Vriksha in different locations. So anybody who is interested, please kindly connect with us, so that we can connect you with the very homely spiritual environment. That would be wonderful to join. So and every day, Monday to Friday, we have a Bhagavad Gita reading. So from 12 p.m. to 12:15 p.m., take a break at a day and get some verse reading with devotees. That was a wonderful opportunity to have that break in the daytime. And every morning we have 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Japa class, Japa program. So you can join our Zoom, the same Zoom. So you can chant with devotees. And also we have ISKCON calendar. We can see all our Ekadashi, all the festivals and everything you can get through over here. So you can always connect, most of the website information up to date. So that'll be helpful for everyone. So anybody has any questions, kindly raise your hands and you can definitely unmute yourself and ask question.
Don't be shy. If you have reflection, you can also ask. Yes. I think Sankari Kaur Mataji and Kirit Patel, Prabhu, what looks like. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, my respectful obeisances to you. Prabhu, thank you for this enlightening class. I have a reflection and a question. I'll start with the reflection. Basically, it just reminds me of what Guru Maharaj, his great Sheshika Prabhu, always says, that he recalls that story that when he was a young devotee, he went to Vrindavan and how he went to Jamuna to take a bath, and all his clothes were gone when he came out. So he practically went to the ashram in his gamcha. And the first thing that he does is that whatever money he has, he goes to the caretaker of the ashram and says, "Take the money right now." And he says, "Prabhu, you always do it at the end of the yatra. Why are you doing this right now?" He says, "Prabhu, I don't know when things are going to go away. So let me give it to you while I have it." So Guru Maharaj calls it preemptive giving. He says that at the end of your life, everything is going to go away any which way, and you're not even going to take any. You're not going to get any shreya for that. So give it while you have it. And the example that you gave, that you lost $80,000, you could have just donated $800 to the temple on that day. It wouldn't have killed you any which way. You're alive after loss of 80,800 would not have made any dent anyway. So I was just thinking about that incident, Prabhu. And Prabhu, one question. In certain situations, we do feel that people are not being very nice to us. They are being little rude to us, although the intentions are very nice and all of that. The tendency is not to criticize because we've heard so much about Vaishnava Aparadh. But Prabhu, we do feel bad at that moment. Is it okay to go through that grief and process it? How should we at that very moment, how should we process that whole situation? That yes, I am feeling hurt, I am feeling depressed or sad about what has been told to me or what has been done to me. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, very good point. I think the solution is given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Same question was asked. Vaishnava Ninda. He is saying Vaishnava Ninda is like poison. And he said, how do you overcome? He says Vaishnava Gunagami. There is nobody in this world who do not like praise. No matter even though you are doing psychophancy, artificially, Undan wise, doesn't matter. Praise connects you. If somebody is praising about your costume, about your sari, about your jewelries, or about your food cooking, or no matter what, it stuck to you. Whether they are doing in intent or not, that's separate thing, but appreciation. That's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said the same solution to the devotees, that if you are doing Vaishnava Ninda, that is itself a Bisha. Vaishnava Ninda boli jai, Bisha khaya, Amrita boli chara, Vaishnava Gunagana kara. So what he said is always convert the same tongue, same language to Vaishnava Prasansa. So if you are doing to somebody, if you feel like, next day you go and appreciate him. Oh, Prabhu, you are doing really. I want to just tell one thing to one devotee. I like that you are washing the rice before you are cooking. It's very simple thing. But it stuck after 6 months or 1 year. He remembered a small, my token of appreciation. And he reminds me, Prabhuji, you said me, I'm very thankful. So that's why small appreciation, it never goes in vain. People keep it. Similarly, a minute criticism also goes deep into the heart. So you have to be very careful. Thank you for the realization. I think Kirit Patel Prabhu or someone who has, no. Yes, Prabhu. Do you have-
I had intended to ask the question. Yes. Well, I have a little comment, I guess.
Mhm.
I listened to all the lectures and all that. Try to at least listen. Why do we always talk about Mayavad and what they are talking bad about us? Why do we have to even mention what we believe in? And how old is this Mayavadi philosophy we are talking about? The original acharyas, which were talking about the Mayavad, I don't know whether they criticized or made fun of the Krishna Leela. So I don't know. Is that our current interpretation that Mayavad is bad mouthing the dualism? I certainly I don't know what are we gaining by putting Mayavad down. If you are already feeling kind of, do we feel inferior about what they sweet talk right now? I'm sure a lot of non-dualist and all that, they are pretty good in convincing about the non-dualism, and I don't think they talk bad about us, making fun that we do all these kirtans and this and that and chanting and all that. I don't think they make. I have not heard any bad mouthing by them. I think they stay focused on more like a knowledge part. Why are we talking
Yes.
always about Mayavad?
Thank you. Thank you for your insight, Prabhuji. Yes. So the Mayavad things is not a new one. from Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, the pastimes called the Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhav, which is written by Bhakti Vikas Swami. He has mentioned about the 14 types of the Mayavadis. They are called, like, it starts with Sahajaya, Aulya, Baulya, and various things. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes also you can find out unlimited means to preach and convert these Mayavadi sannyasis. So it is not that Mayavadi sannyasis are talking bad about it or not, but their conclusion is not to the parameters of a Vaishnava conclusion. Means that's why they have been said that they are Krishna Dveshi. If you internally appreciate devotees, being as a devotee, appreciate a Mayavadi's philosophical, because he's talking nice points, he's giving a nice lecture, he's talking about the Sanskrit sloka and all. But at the end of the day, you have to also judge by his conclusion, right? So similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refrained us from doing Mayavadi Bhasya Sunile Haiva Sarvanasa. So we are not in a mood of criticism. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when his devotees, one of his disciples, he used to go in Mayapur, in Navadip, to go and hear lectures of these Mayavadis, because he was also attracted, because they are speaking so profound logical argument in such a nice manner. So he was so attracted to go to them. Vaishnavas are giving so simple one, okay, Krishna is everything God, and just chant and doing 3-4 bhajan and then God. But he was going, oh, I'm getting my wisdom and logical, conclusion through this impersonalism aspects of the things. So he was going. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised. And lately then he realized that he was doing wrong. So we have to be very careful, because spiritual life is walking in the line of the sword. So if you are little bit tilt the pressure here and there, you will get cut. So it is essential for the devotees to expose the imperfection or the defects of the Mayavadi things and tell them who is not in the Vaishnava Parampara, who is not giving this conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, then how he can refrain from associating and doing things. So we should not be afraid or shy about those things, rather than be convinced, because it has been said by our Acharya, starting from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, converting, which is Prakashananda Saraswati in Allahabad, to many in Mayapur, to Jagannath Puri, every place. There are hundreds of such examples. Thank you for this wonderful question and insight. I think anyone has raised hand. Maybe we can take one more.
So anybody else? Any other questions?
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. This is important. I think we have opportunity to hear from very senior devotees.
So what you're trying to say is you shouldn't know the other side well enough to know our side is better, or are we trying to say we are better or they are not as good, or what is because a lot of schools, there are different schools of philosophy accepted in Hinduism, including Nyaya school of philosophy, which is a logic, which I believe Lord Chaitanya was an expert of Nyaya. He was teaching Nyaya before he became what you call Bhakti.
Yes. So yeah, he was giving the Nyaya Shastra, and then lately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started called Chatuspati. In the Chatuspati program, then he was giving mostly on the grammar, Vyakaran, and various things to his disciples or to his students. And after the meeting, Ishwar Puri, his spiritual master, and took initiation from him in Gaya. Then he completely transformed into this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is God. What is there to be getting initiation for someone? Or what is there that he was not? He knows all these things. But it is his own lila he is exhibiting there and explaining. But the point of, as you are bringing the argument about the Mayavad, the positions of Mayavad and what is the different things. So we should recite the Pranam Mantra of Srila Prabhupada. What he says, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Nami. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So Prabhupada is very particular about that. If such argument comes, he is never shy. I'm giving one example. In Mumbai, first time when they set up the big Pandal program, when Prabhupada went from here in 72, I don't remember the year, 71 or 72, this is the first when he conducted the Pandal program. So in the Pandal program, one guy, there are people are coming, like thousands of people, earlier days in India. So there are thousands of people are coming. Prabhupada is in the Vyasasana. He's giving Kirtan. After Kirtan, he started his lecture. Then someone came and he was questioning, oh, there is no God. I am God. He's a hippie guy. He stand up in the meeting, in the panel program. He was sitting in the front row. Then all the devotees shot him up. Heck, this is not the questions right now, and you are not God. And this, kind of quiet him. So he was there. But Prabhupada brought him into the pandal. And then he asked him to come here. Okay, now tell how you are God. Then he was examining how come God has lifted Govardhan. Then he tried to argumenting. Then in the time of argumenting, people saw that Prabhupada is angry. And as you know, India, they have the concept that, okay, the sadhu must be cool and calm. He's giving something, a man essence of knowledge and telling. And the devotees, they think that when people are living, they're trying to indirectly stop Prabhupada to do argumentative in front of everyone and being angry. And, so that the people are living. But Prabhupada was determined to fight with him one-on-one. And then finally that fighting settled and then he agreed, okay, I'm not God. Then he asked him to go and sit down. By the time half of the people left, the question is, lately, at the end, because nobody was there to, devotees dared to ask in front of the audience that why Prabhupada is exhibiting such behavior, because he's such an expert manager, he's an expert speaker. Then they asked Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, our goal of Bhagavad Gita teaching is not to tell people that we are not angry. We are peaceful, we are non-violence, we are this or that. We are here to fight for Krishna. What audience can think something, that's their way of understanding us. But we can be angry for pleasure of Krishna. That is the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. And as long as somebody defying the questions of or existence of Gita or existence of positions of Lord Krishna, I am ready to fight and be angry. Just like Hanuman was angry to this, just like Angad was angry towards Ravana, etc. So the point is, it is very profound. So we should be very, very carefully examining, scrutinizing, examining the essential part given by our Acharya, that how Nirvishesh and Sunyavadi, because it is there fundamentally in our heart. If it is there, we should take out them immediately and only allow Krishna, Lord Chaitanya's philosophy, Achinta Bheda Veda Tattva, this whole thing, not Saririka Bhashya. We should take the Govinda Bhashya of Baldev Vidyabhushan in our heart. Then only we can be situated. That's the main purport of our life.
But all those avatars, like if you say Sunyavad, you mean Buddhism, right?
Yes.
So don't we believe that the Buddha is a avatar of Bhagwan himself in that time frame? And the reason what he believed or he taught was different.
Yes.
At that time. So now maybe his teachings are kind of twisted, and that's not the real Buddhist philosophy. Would be Sunyavad or something of that nature. That's why what I'm saying is knowing a little bit more of different philosophy is not a bad thing.
Yes.
Only you can compare or say this is this or this is that if you know both the sides well enough to explain to people like me or the jigyasus or the new devotees that, but just by saying it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, I think it's creating blind faith in the new person, and they
Yeah, it is.
might.
So that's why we have to learn from our Acharya. What I understand is, let's say Jayadev Goswami has written what? Nindasi yagya vider ahaha sruti jatam sadaya hridaya darshita vasughatam keshavadrita buddha sarira jaya jagadisha hare. It is one of the famous song which is written by Jayadev Goswami in the Dasavatar Stotram. So, and what is his principles? His main principle is the mass killing of the animals. He wants to make them non-violent and come to this stage, and then he criticizes Veda in this situation. God can come and criticize himself also. That is his position. But as a follower of this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we have to listen to the commandment of our Acharya, how we want to execute. The second point, as you mentioned, yes, Prabhupada in Juhu temple, when he was there, at the last phase of his life, he said, and he told in the library, he said, get all the books of Shankaracharya, get all the books of many different acharyas and keep it here. Do a comparative analysis. But the question is, it is not about all the people should do and read. It's about some intellectual who can read, who knows things, who can scrutinizing, they understand and compare it. Not likely ordinarily everybody can read here and there and become hodgepodge, chaotic. So here it is not that Acharya has not said not to do that one. If you are an intelligent man, you're most welcome to do and examine it and give a conclusion and guidance to the people. As Prabhupada also gave an examples to in Juhu temple, in the library, he said, make all the books. People should come. Those who are very intellectually minded set of people, come and read and understand the scriptures properly. But we are talking about in general, when you are talking in our general congregation, we are exhibiting the position of a follower of an acharya. I am not in positions to take as an acharya to keep preach, rather than I am just relaying the message as a postman, what our acharya has said. That's our position. Okay, I think I am over time, so I'm back to thank you. I hope this helps you. Yeah. We are not discouraging you not to pursue the path of reading all the scriptures. You are most welcome to do, but in a guidance and with an intellectual set of people. If you discuss the higher thing with thousands of common people, then we will mistake them, right? We need to be careful what we should not and what we should do in a small focused group of people. Does it help, Prabhu? Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I'm encouraging you
so
to
much.
pursue. If you have some, inclination and intellectual, you are most welcome to do, and that will be a great asset to ISKCON. We are not discouraging it. That will be a great asset to ISKCON ultimately.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ram Tulsi Das Prabhuji. Sorry,
Thank you so much, Prabhu, again for a wonderful time. So I think it's our fortune, and hopefully, like you can again come in our forum to guide us spiritually and educate us some way. Thank you again so much, Prabhuji, for coming. Everyone can unmute and please thank Prabhuji with loud Haribol.
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 Haribol. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Pasinduvevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo
Apnevyo
Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Nanda Gauri Vaishnavindi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki
Ki
jai.
Jai.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.